small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sam.
I'm Stevie.
We are Nicholas here today as we get ready to show you guys ceramic washing coat. And we've got some live demos planned. We're going to show you all of the application methods of this awesome product and answer any questions you have relating to the ceramic family and how to use washing coat incorporated into your wash regimen. So a few things to go over before we really get into the demos. Believe it or not, we might be having a caffeine and gasoline in March, so we're crossing our fingers. Washington's starting to lift some of the regulations and mandates. It just opened up. The pressure washer chiming in there. We just opened up some indoor dining, and we're hoping to be able to have potentially a limited capacity caffeine and gasoline for you guys in the month of March. So we'll be updating you at the next live on whether or not that's definitely going to happen. And then, of course, feel free to call or email us as we get closer to that date, and we'll solidify whether or not that is going on. But if we do have it, it's going to be Ferrari theme. That's always a super popular event. We get tons of people out for that. So mark that on your calendar tentatively and cross your fingers that it will happen.
Yes, that's 8 a.m. March 6th here at the retail store in Tacoma. And we are Nick Griot-less, but we do have Nick A here behind the screen, so he will be chiming in. He'll be playing the voice of God. If you do have any questions in the chat, he's going to be the ones that's going to be kind of contributing those to us and helping us. So feel free to fire away any questions. We are going to be giving some stuff away, so go ahead and ask anything that is on your mind.
Yeah, the boss isn't here, so we'll see what we can get away with when it comes to giveaways. Yeah. So fire away with those questions, guys.
We'll start auctioning off the cards in the back.
Whoa, I do like my job. We'll definitely be giving away some washing coat, and then we will also be giving away some of the other ceramic products as well. So get those questions in there if you haven't already. I think we've got a sale to talk about. It's almost over.
Yes, so it actually is going to run through Saturday the 6th. You can use code EMJAMR, I believe it is. We can double check that with the slide on the screen. But that is to get SMJAMR. And that is to get a free 25-ounce interior cleaner on a purchase over $25.
Yeah, so take advantage of that. Great time to get your interior cleaned up and get that freebie. Doesn't take much to get to 25, so get that freebie on just about any order you might place. Before Saturday. I believe that ends on Saturday the 6th.
Yes.
And of course, subscribe. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Or if you aren't new and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you get down there, hit the subscribe button, like the video, like all of our videos, hit the notification bell, and yeah, do whatever you can to support us on YouTube. It helps us make more of these videos and justify having more fun with you guys on the lives and everything. So please get active down there in the comments, like, subscribe.
Yes.
Probably bug you about that again later.
Also, if you're not following us on Instagram or our Facebook page, we definitely do post of upcoming live events and exciting things that we are doing, including sales. And so if you aren't, go ahead and follow us there as well. And you can go ahead and pre-sub questions for our next live and get a chance to win, even if you're not able to participate in the live event during the on-air portion.
And as another heads up, we will be moving our live events to once a month from once every other week. So just keep that in mind. Our next live will be in March. So mark your calendars for a month from today. We'll be coming at you again with another fun, exciting topic. Hopefully you guys all liked our movie poster, The Shiny. That was probably one of the more fun ones we've put together so far.
Yeah.
Stevie's quite terrifying, believe it or not.
Do we have a screen of that we can put up? I think one of my favorite comments in the pre-sub was from Facebook, and it was from Jeff Brown, and he said, "I love these. Stevie is probably going after Sam for not keeping his wheels clean. Looks like he might be going to do it now with the wheel brush in his hand."
Yeah. That was all I could find to defend myself. Just coming after me with that foam cannon. It's just utterly terrifying.
Here's Shiny.
For those of you that have seen The Shining, I don't know about you, but that's still one of the scarier movies out there in my book. So did our best to recreate the terror. We have some new products coming. So we've got a new precision masking tape, precision detailing tape for you guys that is live on our website right now in 2 different widths. So definitely check that out. Taping is often overlooked, but an essential step in ensuring a perfect exterior detail. So if you like doing paint correction and you haven't used tape, or you've used tape that drives you crazy and is difficult to get around curves and contours with and whatnot, we definitely encourage you to check out our tape. It's extremely user-friendly, and I think you might have some more details about that one.
Yeah, so it's actually made from a blend of 3 different types of paper that are well known in the fine arts industry for their durability, even when they become wet. It also features an acrylic adhesive, which is water solvent and UV resistant. And then it does come in 2 widths, as Sam had mentioned. We have a 3/4 inch and a 1.5 inch. The 3/4 inch is going to excel at complying with aggressive curves and contours, whereas the 1.5 inch width is going to be exceptional at covering larger components.
Awesome. Yeah, again, an often overlooked step, but I think we've all skipped taping before and have regretted it when we do skip it. So
for sure, it's like, I'll just be careful.
Yeah. Speaking from experience, it's well worth the time and small amount of money to take that precaution and make sure you're getting the job done completely without staining or potentially damaging trim as well. So
absolutely,
do check that out. A couple other new product updates. Our detail cart, of course, is coming. This one's been slightly delayed. It'll be ready in probably mid to late March. I'm hoping that's an under promise, but do keep an eye out for it. It will be going live on the web as soon as we have it, and we'll update you at the next live in March with where we're at on that one. And then we also have our odor neutralizing carpet and upholstery cleaner. As many of you guys have heard, a lot of shipping delays are going on right now. Unfortunately, the sprayer component for that product, the foaming sprayer, was delayed, so that one is also being pushed out slightly into March. So I apologize for those of you that have been waiting for that. I know I am also anxiously waiting for that one. Got a puppy at home that continues to stain the carpet. So yeah, I'm using our other carpet cleaner, but definitely excited for that one to come out. So keep an eye out for that as well.
They'll be well worth the wait, we promise.
Most definitely, and those foaming sprayers are sweet, so you'll like it. We did have a question come in through Facebook. Kevin Cronin asked, how long does the coat last?
Which coat?
Yeah, assuming he's talking about wash and coat. I'm assuming you're talking about this one. It's quite durable for a product that you're using during a wash process. I would say on average you're going to get 1 to 2 months of durability out of that product. And then of course if you're serving a ceramic base like our ceramic 3-in-1 or another product, you may get even longer durability out of that as it tends to bond better to those types of protection products. And since it's a wash, you're going to be using it pretty frequently. Even if you're only washing your car once a month or twice a month, it is easily going to last from wash to wash and beyond. And then also fortifying your base layer of ceramic 3-in-1 or whatever other ceramic product you might have down on the paint. So pretty excellent durability.
And very easy to use. We do have a few different application methods that we will actually demonstrate for you today.
Yeah, so we're going to walk through bucket method, foaming sprayer, and foam cannon to kind of show you guys the differences in performance and how it plays with foam and suds and all of that, as well as how it protects the surface using all of those methods. So it's one of our favorite, one of our probably proudest features of ceramic wash and coat is that it can be delivered through all of these different methods and will give you noticeable, durable protection from all 3 of those methods. A lot of the competitive products out there tend to work better in one method more so than the others. And we feel we've created a very versatile product that will deliver in any of these methods nice and efficiently. So I think without further ado, what do we got next? Oh, some industry news. Don't want to forget that one. Yesterday was a big day if you're into trucks and off-road. The new Raptor was announced, and the Raptor R was also announced. So Ford answering the taunting of Dodge and the T-Rex. I believe they said they're going to be putting the V8 from the GT500s into the Raptor R. So another 700 horsepower off-road monster. Pretty excited to see the videos of those two going after each other in the real world once those are out. That'll be pretty sweet.
We're
And
at
I
the
know we've got
lobby.
some Raptor fans as viewers, so I'm sure you guys are pretty stoked for that.
We're going to have to lobby to get one in here.
Most definitely. Yeah, we could have some fun with that. And then the venerable Toyota Land Cruiser, which is slated for discontinuation, happened to sell more last month in January than any month in the last decade. So I know around here we're all hoping that Toyota hears that demand cry and maybe changes their mind on the future of the Toyota Land Cruiser in America. But either way, the 200 series, really, really awesome vehicle. Definitely cannot blame all of those buyers out there swooping those up before there's potentially no more chance, at least not with a Toyota badge on. So
Yes.
hoping, I'm a big Cruiser fan, really hoping they change their minds on that one. So. All right.
Speaking of cruisers, if you haven't seen our ceramic coating how-to video, it's a really fun video. We kind of spiced it up and did something a little bit more different and fun. Go ahead and check that out and give us some feedback. Let us know how you like it. We will go ahead and demonstrate the process and talk about the products here today, but definitely check that video out as well. And then we had a question from Chris Kaiser. He said, is the ceramic wash safe for foam cannons? It absolutely is, and we will actually go ahead and demonstrate that for you here later. One thing to keep in mind, even when you're using other products, not the ceramic wash and coat, is please make sure that you are rinsing your cannon after each use, running it without product or putting just plain water in the canister and running that through.
Crucial.
And that'll help make sure that you're not getting gunky, like product buildup, drying, and potentially clogging the pickup tube. So.
Yeah, that is a crucial precaution. Like Stevie said, really no matter what liquid you're running through your cannon, make sure you're rinsing it. It'll save you headaches in the long run and prevent you from potentially having to do a rebuild kit or those things quite as soon. So definitely a crucial step. And no, I'm not in the Secret Service. I've just got this sweet earpiece in so our video guys can hassle me while we're doing the live.
We do have a question from YouTube that I think is one we get pretty frequently, so I figure we can address it up front here. Dan
Yeah.
Past 12 is wondering, considering the ceramic component, how do we take best care of our wash mitt and pads? Also taking care of microfiber towels after using ceramic 3-in-1 and ceramic speed shine.
Great question, and definitely a very popular one. Short answer is basically with the wash and coat, you don't have to be very concerned. It's being so diluted in the bucket and through your foaming sprayer and cannon that unless you were to let your wash mitt like completely dry out with the soap in there, you shouldn't have any issues with it, robbing absorbency or anything like that. I tend to, always wash my wash tools after I use them for a car wash, so they're rarely sitting long enough to even get close to dry. So just, wring them out, throw them in the washing machine, and you should not have any issues. And it's going to be similar with ceramic 3-in-1 and ceramic speed shine. These are not, high content, high solid ceramics. So they're not going to make your towels like hard and crunchy like some of you that have used, a true ceramic coating have experienced. However, it is still advised that you don't let these products dry in your towels. So just wash them, soon after you use them, and don't let them dry up. And that should prevent any performance issues with your microfibers. If you do end up, accidentally letting them dry or noticing that you're losing some absorbency, our microfiber and foam pad cleaner and some nice hot water will normally get them back to where you need them to be. So.
Yes, and if they're pretty soaked and they dry and maybe you wash them once and you're still having issues, just run them through the wash a few more times. Of course, it's best to care for them right after, not allow them to dry if at all possible. Just kind of throw them in the wash and run them. That's going to be the easiest for you. But if you do find that a lot of product got in there and dried, just run them through the cycle a few times until they regain their absorbency.
Yeah,
You don't have to throw them out by any means.
Please excuse our pressure washer continuing to interrupt back there.
Stealing the show.
He wants attention apparently. That's all right. All right, so I think we have any other questions coming in that.
Yeah, we've got one that's not necessarily ceramic related. So Jorge Garza says, new here, I'm turning 18 and graduating this summer and looking forward to buying my first car. What's a good starter kit to get from you guys? I will preface this and just say that feel free to reach out to us on social media at any point. It kind of varies by car and by person.
For sure.
But if you guys have any favorite products you could recommend right off the bat.
Oh man, I mean, that's a great question. A hard one to answer with like one kit. But I would definitely, I mean, if you're picking up a newer vehicle, or even if it's just a new to you vehicle, getting one of our ceramic kits is a great place to start. Like Nick said, it's going to somewhat depend on the car, so we would definitely encourage you to reach out to us directly with some more details about what you're planning on picking up, and we can give you a more personalized recommendation on what to use for paint correction depending on the condition and all of that. But I mean, if you have the money to, I would definitely pick up one of our orbital kits. The G9 is a great place to start. The G9 starter kit, or we also have a couple G9 ceramic kits, would probably be my first recommendation. And then products like Speed Shine, a good method of decontamination, whether it be synthetic or natural paint cleaning clay. If you're, I think you said you're out of college or almost out of college, if you don't have access to like a driveway with a spigot, say you're in an apartment or a condo, our rinseless products are also great. Make it easy for you to keep the car clean without necessarily needing a hose and bucket. So that's another great way to go. But
don't forget tape if you're going to be polishing.
Yes, definitely tape. And I don't know, you've got a pretty new to you car. What do you have any
new to me car? I feel like for a first car, it's probably going to be a little more. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because mine was pretty beat up when I got it. But I'm going to say that if you want, I guess, if you care for your car, you're going to take good care of it, and you want it to look exceptional, definitely polish it. I would at least recommend a G9, although a G15 is going to make the process so much more efficient for you. But it really, again, depends on the condition of your paint. My car, my Camry here, I purchased from a used dealership, and it had been a company car, so it was run through a drive-through car wash probably weekly. It looked excruciatingly bad in the sunshine. If that's the case, you might end up kind of going more with an orbital, whereas if you're buying a car that's been well maintained and well cared for, maybe from a car enthusiast, you might not even have to polish it, and you might just want to keep it waxed. So it really does depend.
Yeah, definitely pick up some interior products too. I don't know about you guys, especially this time of year with how much rain we get around here. I tend to let the exterior go because it's just difficult to keep clean. But the interior, I always like keeping my interior nice and dialed. So our interior detailer is a great one. One of the boar's hair brushes and some good towels. And then if you have leather, our leather products are phenomenal. Make the interior smell nice and crispy fresh. So those are both awesome products to go with. Can't forget some glass cleaner as well. Can't have smudgy, dirty windows. So yeah, plenty of stuff though. I mean, gosh, we could go on and on about what products you should.
One of everything.
But yeah, hit us up, like Nick said, on social or email or call our customer service department with some more details about what you're planning on getting, and we can make that a little more personalized of a recommendation for you. So.
Yes.
All right.
What do you think?
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get down to it.
Yeah.
I think you want to start with some bucket washing here.
Yes.
We'll do a quick spray on the car just so you guys can see with what we're working with bare. We did strip a small section back here on the rear quarter just to show you guys how the protection is going to be added to the surface. There is still a little bit of protection here from a previous application of ceramic 3-in-1, but it's definitely diminished. So this would imitate, say, you've gone, I don't know, 6 to 8 months since you've applied ceramic 3-in-1, and you don't necessarily have the time to apply it again, but you want to get the protection rejuvenated. So you can see, not sure if you guys can see this on camera at all. If not, I apologize, but it's still repelling the water. There's definitely still some visible protection there, but it is sheeting a good amount. So we'll get the wash and coat down and add some fresh protection there, and that should speed up the water repellency and hydrophobicity and give you a little more of a wow effect.
Yes. So we actually are going to demonstrate all 3 application methods for you. We're going to start with the bucket dilution. So I have 3 gallons of water here, and you will want to dilute the ceramic wash and coat 2 ounces per gallon. I'm going to go ahead and just dunk my mitt in there.
First thing you'll notice, there's not a ton of suds.
No.
That's totally fine. We've talked about a lot before, but one of the things with products like this, you can go ahead if you want. We'll just talk as you're working. One thing with products like this is that you do have to compromise with trade-offs. If you want a lot of protection, you're going to have to sacrifice some of the suds because those things often don't go together. Oils and polymers and things tend to kind of kill those suds. The other factor is this bucket. We pre-diluted it prior to the video, so we weren't wasting time doing that mid-video. If you do this right before the wash, you will have some noticeable suds in your bucket. Those have fallen off because it was probably diluted about 10 minutes or so before the video.
Yes.
So do keep that in mind.
But we had a question in our pre-sub that I saw about, is it a high sudsing formula? He had seen somewhere that it wasn't, and he was wondering how that affected lubricity. And it's important to note that, again, suds don't go entirely hand in hand with lubricity. You can have a good lubricious formula without having the high sudsing properties.
Yeah.
A
lot of the times the suds factor is almost more mental than actual performance. Suds, we're used to seeing suds in a bubble bath and suds in the car wash and all that, so it kind of invokes the feeling of a quality wash and lubricity and all of that. But you can also get a very lubricious wash solution that may not have suds, because it all depends how you fill your bucket. You can have the exact same amount of soap in there, and if you're not agitating the water a ton, it's not going to create tons of suds, but it will still be well lubricated and very safe for use on your vehicle.
Exactly. So if you use an open flow hose to fill the bucket, it's not going to get as much agitation, and you're not going to get a lot of suds, as opposed to if you use the same wash with the best in flow valve, it's going to kind of agitate it a little more, and you're going to get way more suds.
Yeah, or if you just throw your hose in your bucket, fill it up like that,
True.
Low suds. Whereas if you hold your hose up here and it's agitating the water a ton, you're going to get a lot more suds. So
Good point.
always be a fun little test to run at home.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and rinse the surface.
Make sure Stevie doesn't soak me here. It's happened before.
So you can see it's already clearing the surface much quicker.
Yeah, so not even really allowing the water to sheet anymore. I mean, you get like a split second of a sheet and then it falls away extremely fast.
And that surface was pretty bare beforehand. Ideally, you would want to apply this to an already protected surface, and that's going to enhance the base coat that's already on there. You can use this as a standalone protectant. However, it's not going to be as durable as we'd like. So to ensure that you have constant protection on your surface, it's always best to have a base coat.
Yeah, like Stevie said, you always want something that's going to last, ideally more than a couple months down there. However, this can be used as standalone if you don't have the time to get something else down. It's definitely better than nothing and much better than a lot of the other kind of wash and wax type products that are out there on the market. So got a good question that came in. Dan Pass 12 asked, considering the ceramic component, how do we best take care of the wash mitt pad? Also taking care of microfiber towels after ceramic speed shine. I think that one we already answered, right? It's all good.
Come on, Matt.
I just read what they tell me to.
While we're talking about mixing in the bucket, Shine Your Light Detailing is asking if wash and coat is better if diluted less in a bucket.
We do not recommend diluting more or less than the ratios that are advised on the bottle. Because this product does offer quite durable and stout protection, if you over concentrate it and put too much in there, it's potentially going to streak and leave residues and things like that. We did an immense amount of testing to ensure that the ratios we were recommending were giving you not only good protection, but also user-friendly experiences without leaving residue and streaking and spotting behind. So
Absolutely.
Please do not use the glug method when it comes to wash and coat. You don't just want to go crazy dumping this in your bucket without measuring. You're also going to, it's not the cheapest wash out there, and you're essentially wasting product if you use too much and just risking residues and things that you're going to have to come back to spend more time to get rid of. So do follow the recommended dilution ratios. Another thing worth mentioning, like we've gotten some criticism on, like, man, you have to use 6 ounces in the foaming sprayer. Yes, to get the durable protection that it offers, you do. You could use less than that if you're not as concerned about as durable of protection. But the point here is you're rarely going to use a full reservoir on a single car. Even my big Land Cruiser, I tend to only use about half, sometimes even less than half, depending on how quickly I'm working around the vehicle. You know, if my 7-year-old son is doing the foaming, I'm probably using a whole reservoir because he likes to go nuts with the foam. But typically, you're gonna, I mean, this size car, you could probably even get 3 cars out of one reservoir if you're being efficient with how you cover the car. So.
Absolutely. And if you're using the bucket, you typically don't need to fill it with the full 5 or 6 gallons. We have 3 here in the bucket, and that's totally fine for just an average sized vehicle that's not too dirty.
Yeah, another great point. The dirtier the car, the more water you're gonna want, but if the car is really that dirty, it might be best that you select an alternate wash product anyways. You know, do a pre-wash with foaming surface prep or foaming surface wash, and then use this as a protection additive, which will cover that as well as we go.
Yeah, and we did demonstrate that again in that winter wash video with the Land Cruiser.
Yep. So the next method is going to be the foaming sprayer.
I'll just trade you places if you want.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
This is gonna take me a sec. I gotta get a little bit of length on the hose here.
So while Sam's setting that up,
Yes.
Joel Parker on YouTube is asking how much agitation is needed or recommended for ceramic wash and coat to be used properly before rinsing it off.
Agitation on the surface, you don't necessarily have to over agitate. It's going to be just like a normal wash. As far as in the bucket, I did just agitate it real quick just to ensure that the product was thoroughly mixed. That's just something that I instinctively do. It's not required by any means. It was already very well mixed. But on the surface, just a quick pass over, top down, as normal is perfectly fine.
All right.
So real quick before you get started, we did dilute 6 ounces of concentrate into that cannon and then filled the rest with water. Sprayer, sorry.
I know a lot of folks tend to call these cannons. This is a foaming sprayer. It's, you know, like a suds gun. You're just hooking it up to the hose. There's no pressure washer involved here. So please do not expect this to produce the same level of foam that a pressure washer and foam cannon will produce. It is not going to do that, and you will be disappointed if you have those expectations. However, it still does deliver quite respectable foam. Whether you're using it with ceramic wash and coat, brilliant finish, or even the foaming system, you can also use with this tool. So it's a great solution if you don't want to spend the money on a pressure washer, or you're working in an area where it might not be practical to use a pressure washer or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
and that still is going to save a lot of times as opposed to, a lot of time as opposed to going back to the bucket and redunking and then dunking in another bucket, dunking back in the soap bucket and reapplying. It's still going to be a great time saver because it's throwing the suds onto the surface for you. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. And you're getting more lubrication too, because you're not only working with a bucket, you're putting the suds directly on the paint. I still like to always have a bucket, at least of clean water, to use to rinse out your mitt as you're using this product on the surface. So we'll go ahead and foam her down. So you can see, I mean, it's pretty nice, visible foam. It's not thick by any means, but it does have some clingability. There's protection on this, so it's not clinging quite as much as it would if you were spraying it directly onto a bare surface. Onto a perfectly bare surface, you'll notice a lot more cling. You can see these areas where the foam is tending to hang on. Those are going to be areas that have slightly less protection, whereas back here, where we just applied wash coat out of the bucket, it's pretty much gone off those surfaces. There's not as much cling there. So just to show you guys again, pretty fun going nuts with the foam. You can see I barely used a quarter. It was only filled up to the shoulder there. So really efficient usage when it comes to this. I could easily get around this whole car and with probably 3 times with one reservoir.
Absolutely.
So spray it on. Oh.
Once again, pressure washer's acting up.
Chiming in again.
So Chris Ballard, real quick, said on black cars, how do you keep the smears out when using the ceramic 3-in-1? A lot of times if you are noticing smears, it's either that you're working on a warm panel, which we do not recommend, or your towel may be wet. And so what we recommend is ensuring that you're cycling your towel, make sure that it doesn't get soaked with product. Typically we recommend using 2 towels, so you could have a wet towel if you will, and a dry towel. So you spread the product with the wet towel and then follow with the dry towel. But again, ensure that your drying towel is not getting soaked with product because that can often cause streaking. Sam's over there giving me a free car wash, getting some free labor out of this.
Yeah. Don't get used to it.
Let's see.
Perks of the job, right? I guess you've washed mine a time or two, so can't be.
So Patrick Goals is asking, will the wash and coat work in my pressure washer soap compartment?
No, it will not. We have not tested it through soap reservoirs. The main reason for that being that every pressure washer is going to have different dilution ratios for the soap reservoir. So, we aren't able to test every single pressure washer out there to give you the right numbers for your soap reservoir. And typically, using products out of those soap reservoirs, you're not going to be getting the best foam hitting the surface either. You're going to get much better foam either out of your foaming sprayer or foam cannon. If you're already using a pressure washer, I would highly recommend a foam cannon. It's going to give you much better foam than you'll get from your soap reservoir. In my experience, I only really use those for if I'm using a concrete cleaner or cleaning moss or mildew off the outside of your sidewalks or something like that. You can use additives in the soap reservoir for those. But as far as car wash chemicals, I like to stick to the foam cannon. It's definitely the way to go.
Absolutely. And a Boss foam cannon, not the foam cannon that comes with your pressure washer.
Yeah.
Trust us.
Yeah, those aren't a whole lot foamier than the soap reservoir typically. So quick rinse. Try not to get you wet, sorry.
Look at that repellency.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys, again, can see it. We had to angle the car kind of weird, so we're keeping all the cars around us dry. But really, really repellent surface now. I mean, there is no sheeting going on whatsoever, even with a slow stream coming out. So, I mean, that is some nice protection. And you could see when we foamed that on, it was clean quite a bit here, so there wasn't a whole lot of protection left on that door panel. And you can really, really see that flying off the paint there. Even when I focus on an area, sheets and then it's gone. Oh, pretty money. Get the pressure washer reset up and Stevie will show you the foam cannon.
So one of the Griot twins has a good question that we get a lot on social and I think would be good for the people to hear. JT's wondering, so would the ceramic wash and coat be a suitable replacement for foaming polygloss? So if you want to talk about how you'd use one of those over the other.
Yeah, so ideally you'll want to serve your base coat. So yes, you could use it absolutely in place of polygloss no matter what protection is on the surface, and you will get that hydrophobicity and the protection from it. However, typically you'd want to feed like ceramic with ceramic, for example. If you did have ceramic 3-in-1 on the surface per se, you wouldn't necessarily want to apply polygloss over that because you're going to be putting protection on top of the ceramic on the surface and therefore hindering the hydrophobicity and the self-cleaning properties that you get from the ceramic. That's not to say that the polygloss is obsolete and that you shouldn't use it, because that's just not the case. And especially with the Boss foaming system, you're still going to want the polygloss, as it is a great, quick, glossy, and honestly, it's a lot of fun to use because it still foams up a lot, protection for the surface. It's not to say that one or the other is better, and they both kind of play well in certain instances and maybe have their downfalls, but it all depends on the situation and what you prefer.
Sorry about that. Yeah, and you've got, like Stevie said, they've got kind of different features that they have as strengths. Polygloss is going to be a little higher foaming. Ceramic wash and coat is going to be a little more hydrophobic. So just depends on what your priorities are there with your wash process and the products you're using. All right, well, I'll switch you again and go ahead and hit it with the foam cannon.
Walking through a lake over there, jeez.
That's all right. Keep the floor. Make cleanup easy.
All right, so
Stevie and I had to argue on who got to use the foam cannon. She won. As
I
usual.
won the fight. So we have the Boss foam cannon here, and to dilute the ceramic wash and coat in this, you add 4 ounces to the canister and then fill it with water. I'm going to go ahead and hook this up. And
do make
we'll get
sure you
started.
remove, if you're using metering tips with
Yes.
the foaming system, do be sure you remove your metering tip if you are pre-diluting this in your cannon.
Absolutely. Good call.
We are playing around with using wash and coat with the SureFlow metering system as well, so we'll be getting some info out to you guys on how to do that in the future also.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and foam it onto the surface.
So now you see one of the benefits of using a cannon versus a foaming sprayer. It's still not quite like snow foam thickness. It's not as thick as foaming surface wash or foaming surface prep, or even brilliant finish out of the foam cannon. But you're getting a much more noticeable, much more clingy foam than you get from the foaming sprayer or your bucket method. So that better cling is going to help it bond a little bit better. I would say as far as durability and wow go during the wash, the foam cannon's probably the best method. That being said, there's not a large difference in durability regardless of the method you're choosing. As long as you're applying it, allowing it to dwell for approximately 60 seconds, and then agitating, you will get pretty equal durability across the 3 application methods.
Absolutely. And typically you would allow that to dwell, come back in and rinse the surface, or agitate, the surface with your wash mitt. Again, make sure that you have a bucket. Even if it's just with clean water, you can add soap if you'd like to, but just clean water is just fine, just to remove any dirt or debris from the wash mitt to ensure that you have a safe wash process. Part of the reason that we chose my car is because I just spent 2 weekends detailing it. It is perfected, so we are showing you that even though there was some dirt when we started on the lower rocker panels, quite a bit of it even, this is a safe process, and I'm not worried about it scratching and wasting all the time that I just put into this. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse the surface. Since we already agitated, I'm not going to worry about that.
Yeah, that side's got plenty of protection on it. This is another way that you can use wash and coat. Say you've already done your pre-wash with, say you're using the foaming system and you've foamed the car down with foaming surface wash and you've gotten all the grit and contaminant off, you're working with a clean surface and you now want to apply protection, you can foam wash and coat on, let it dwell for 60 seconds and rinse it right back off without agitating, and that's going to give you added protection as well. Now that being said, again, if you're agitating it, you will get a better bond. So normally I only use it like that, where I spray it on, rinse it off. If I already have stout protection on the paint, if I've got ceramic 3-in-1 down and I'm using the foaming system, I'll usually foam, foaming surface wash or foaming surface prep on as my pre-wash, and then use ceramic wash and coat to add protection as a secondary step there. We did have a question. Andy Buchanan on Facebook, I believe it is, asked, have you guys had issues with the foaming sprayer and the water gun not working the right way? Once I take the foam sprayer off to just use the water, it is hard to spray. So let me grab the nozzle, just give you more of a visual. So like a lot of trigger nozzles, you've got this little plunger here, you see there on the back. All you got to do, these will tend to get a little bit sticky over time, especially if you're leaving them outside, or you have really hard water at your house, or wherever you're using the product. These can get sticky. All you have to do, take any type of lubricating oil, could even be a drop of motor oil. I've even used a drop of tire shine in a pinch if you don't have anything else and it's sticky and bugging you. Just a little drop of lubrication right onto that plunger pin right there, that rod. You can see when you have it, so you depress the trigger, drop a little bit of lubricant on there, and then just cycle it a few times. That'll lubricate that plunger shaft and allow it to to function properly for you. So if it's getting sticky and like it takes a sec for the water to turn off, something like that, it's a quick and easy solution there. There is a bit about that in the manual. We know most of you guys just throw that away with the box, so you probably didn't read it, but it is in there, so keep that in mind. Just literally any type of lubricating oil, silicone, lithium, grease, motor oil, whatever it may be, one drop on there and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
While we're talking about rinsing, Ron Shoup on YouTube is asking if you can rinse with just a normal hose.
Yeah,
100%. You can definitely rinse it with a normal open hose. You just want to make sure you're doing a thorough rinse. You know, that's one of the nice things about having pressurized water is you don't have to be quite as careful about ensuring that you're getting every bit of the surface, whereas with an open hose, you don't have as much pressure, so you want to make sure you're going over the surface thoroughly and not leaving any soap behind. Specifically
Absolutely.
with products like wash and coat, because if you do leave this behind on the surface and it's allowed to dry, it may streak or leave residue, so keep that in mind. Typically any
100%.
streaks or residue that you get will be removable with your dry towel, so it's not the end of the world, but of course you want to avoid any added work at the end of your car wash. So.
For sure. We did have a question from Facebook. Wes Bailey asked, what are the prep steps before using ceramic wash and coat? Ideally, you would have already decontaminated the surface if needed. If you were going to perfect or correct the surface, definitely do that first as well. And then again, ideally you'd want to have a base coat of protection that you've already applied, although that's optional. And then ceramic wash and coat is a good maintenance and protection option. So you can go ahead and use that to either maintain the surface that already has, say, ceramic 3-in-1 on it, or you can use that as a standalone. Just keep in mind that it is not giving a extremely durable protection because it is a wash and protect type product. So definitely keep up on it if that's going to be the only protection you're applying.
All right, we got a good one from Neil White asked, what happens if you use too much of this product on a car? So we did already touch on that, but it's a good one to repeat. Do follow the recommended dilution ratios. If you over dilute, you run the risk of streaks and residue, specifically if the product's allowed to dwell too long or dry on the surface. So this is legitimate protection that's being applied, and if not used properly, you may run into some streaks or residue. Again, most of those are removable with a dry towel, but just keep in mind, you don't want to be doing extra work at the end. So follow those dilution ratios. You'll save yourself money as well.
Yes. Edward Delgardo, my bad, sorry, asked, is it okay to use wash and coat on a car that has regular wax on it? It absolutely is. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it'll enhance your protection and it'll make whatever wax you have down appear more hydrophobic because you're putting that nice ceramic protection on top of it. So
Yes.
say you have, you just applied a sealant or something like that and you're not that happy with the hydrophobicity, you may not want to go through all that work again. This is a great way to kind of get, save yourself some time while also getting those results that you really want to see. So
Yes.
super quick and easy. Can't go wrong.
Heck yeah.
Wes Bailey on Facebook is asking, ceramic 3-in-1 before or after ceramic wash? It may be helpful just to go through kind of how to use those three products together.
Definitely. So, repeat the question.
Ceramic 3-in-1 before or after ceramic wash and coat?
Okay. So you always want the most durable product as your base. So that would be ceramic 3-in-1 down first, and then you're using ceramic wash and coat and ceramic speed shine to maintain your base of 3-in-1. 3-in-1 is going to give you, I would say 8 to 12 months of durability in most situations if it's being maintained well. So then you're going to apply, these over the top of that to give you even more life and, reinvigorate the hydrophobicity and all of the wonderful performance expectations of ceramic 3-in-1. And these products are so easy to use, and really, with both of them, you're probably going to be using these at least once to twice a month. So you're really, you may get even longer durability out of your 3-in-1 if you're using these to maintain it. So it's a really great system to employ.
Absolutely. Just to add on to that, just remember whenever you're layering any type of protectants, the base coat is what you're going to get the durability of. So if you apply, say, ceramic speed shine first and then you put ceramic 3-in-1 on top of that, once the ceramic speed shine gives up, the ceramic 3-in-1's going with it. So just keep that in mind.
We got a good question on screen. I think Matt's been trying to get this one up there for a while, but we just keep talking, sorry. But Peter Torres asked, what are your thoughts on a pump sprayer to apply ceramic wash or any of the wash formulas like Brilliant Finish or standard car wash? So I'm assuming you're talking like a pump up foamer. That's a perfectly acceptable way to apply all of those products if you don't have the opportunity or the infrastructure to use, a foaming sprayer or a foam cannon. The pump-up foamer, I use a ton. We've actually got one down here with our foaming surface prep, diluted 10-to-1 in this guy. This is honestly one of my favorite product and tool combos. I take my trucks off-road a lot and they get filthy dirty. I use this with the 10-to-1 foaming surface prep to hit the wheel wells, the undercarriage, the rocker panels, and really help emulsify and dissolve all that nasty dirt and de-icer and road film and whatever else may be on there, and blast it off with the pressure washer afterwards. So that's a great kind of pre-treatment method with foaming surface prep. Or if you don't want to use the cannon, or you're not in a space where you can use the cannon, you can put foaming surface wash and polygloss in your pump-up foamer as well. Those all have the recommended dilution ratio for this tool on the back of the bottle on the label. It's also available on our website. So all those are going to be compatible with your pump-up foamer or really any other pump-up sprayer. I will say the foamers are my favorite, especially when you're working with a wash type product. It's going to be a lot better than a sprayer because you get that nice clingy high dwell foam. And then you could use your wash and coat in your pump-up foamer as well. You're just going to want to, you don't have any water being added to it there, so you're going to want to use the same dilution you would use in your bucket. So that's 64-to-1, 2 ounces of concentrate per gallon of water. Of course, you don't have to mix up a gallon of water. You can just reduce that ratio down to, this is I think about 60 ounces all the way full. So you do a little less than 2 ounces of concentrate if you were filling this all the way up to the top. But just reduce that ratio down. And that's a great way to do it. How does a water softener impact the product? So Kevin Cronin asks, how does a water softener impact the product? We've done all of our testing on very low TDS water. So a water softener is not going to rob performance at all. And really you're just doing yourself a favor by not putting hard water on the paint that's then going to dry and leave water spots and give you all kinds of headaches like that. So
additionally, high TDS levels in your water can actually impact the foam that you get, so it might even decrease even further the amount of foaming that you're seeing. Yeah,
that's a great point. We, in Tacoma, we're pretty lucky. We only have like our water at the spigots here at the Griot's HQ. It's about 50 TDS, which is really low relative to the rest of the country. Conversely, our warehouse in Plainfield, Indiana, where our lab and production facility is, we've tested our water out there when working on projects with our chemists, and that water is much higher. It's like 500 TDS or higher out there. So we were like providing feedback to our chemists going back and forth, and we're having a hard time figuring out, well, we're getting great foam here, but she was reporting very little or no foam there. And we ended up figuring out that it was the TDS level of the water. Hooked up our water deionizer system got all that TDS out of there, and got better foam. So that was a first-hand situation of how a water softener or deionizer can help the products perform better, and also save you headaches when you're fighting water spots and issues on the car.
Absolutely. Real quick, you know what I just realized? We haven't given anything away.
We haven't. You're right, man.
We said we're going to give away the whole farm.
I saw a good dad joke in the I think it was YouTube questions. Yeah, Neil White. I think we already read one of his questions, but I'm a sucker for dad jokes, and my daughter's name is Anna, so this one is pretty good. What did the drummer call his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. Pretty good. All right, Neil, you'll get a free bottle of ceramic wash and coat sent to you. Still emailing us, right?
Yeah, email us social@griotsgarage.com. Just send us your address and I'll get that sent out to you.
Awesome. S550_Johnny Not sure which one this came through on, but he's probably a little late because if you saw the demos, you would know how much foaming action you get from ceramic wash and coat. But we won't beat him up too bad. Because of the enhanced protection you're getting out of this, it's not going to be a high foaming formula. So you don't expect the foam of a snow foam wash. However, you are going to get some foam, especially when used out of a foam cannon, that will allow a nice cling so that you get that full dwell out of the product and get a nice fun effect during the wash. But it is not a high sudsing, high foaming formula. We traded that out for durable hydrophobic protection. Difficult to accomplish both there.
Yes.
All right. Read this one,
So
Stevie.
real quick, go ahead, fire off some great questions. We'll go ahead and give a bunch of stuff away here within the next few minutes. But real quick, don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and stay engaged with us.
Yeah, just go back through all of our videos. If you haven't liked them, do that. Like them all. I think we've joked around about it before too, but you can just leave them playing on your TV, mute it, whatever, turn the volume down. The views help us out a ton. Jonathan McLaughlin, apologize if I mispronounced that, asked, can you use ceramic 3-in-1 wax on a pad for your polisher if you want to instead of doing it by hand? That's a good question. We haven't had that one before. I would say no, avoid using it on an orbital. It's a very thin, viscous product, and it's likely going to make a ton of mess if you try to do it like that. And you also don't want to apply heat to the surface when you're using that. Sorry if I
No, you're fine.
stole your answer there. But the orbital is going to be generating some heat, which could potentially cause this product to essentially cure prematurely and leave an inconsistent finish on the panel. So don't use an orbital. However, we have had some customers that have liked using a wax applicator pad to apply it. So where they're spraying it on their pad, applying it over a section, and then buffing it off with a dry towel. So that's another good way too.
Yes.
There's some laughter going on behind the scenes here.
Real quick, I'm going to pick a fight.
Neil won a bottle last week. Man, Neil. That's all right. We'll send you one anyways.
I'm going to pick a fight real quick. Jonathan T. asked, who's a better detailer, Sam or Stevie?
Oh, loaded question. Come on now.
You guys can't vote for yourself, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I think we both have our strengths.
Yeah.
We've detailed quite a bit together on several cars, so I like to think I taught Stevie everything she knows, but she'd probably tell you different.
I'd say he's probably better overall because he's got much more experience than I do, probably 2 times at this point. But I think that I'm definitely a little more anal. I'm more of a perfectionist, and I will sit there and freak out over the smallest thing.
There have been a few jobs where I'm like, all right, Stevie, come on, next panel.
You're like, come on, we got a time limit.
That scratch ain't coming out. Just move on. Oh yeah.
But
Stevie can hold her own, so I would definitely watch out when it comes to challenging her to detail competitions.
Kevin Cronin on Facebook is asking for some more dad jokes, and I know we've got one in the YouTube questions there.
Oh, do we? Let's see. We do need more giveaways. Those are always worthy of good giveaways. I should have worn my glasses. Daryl Meharg, I apologize if I butchered that again. My eyes are getting bad, so I turned 30 this year, and probably need to go to the eye doctor again. But Daryl asked, what happens when a frog illegally parks his car?
it gets towed. But
Oh no, that one's like a Laffy Taffy rapper joke. That was a good one though. That was a good one. I'm not sure that one's gonna win, but we'll see. We'll see what else. We'll see what else we get. We'll keep that one in the hopper just in case nobody else is getting creative. I didn't even catch that. Another frog joke. Unintentional. Ryan Robertson asked, what do you need to do first? Strip waxes off or iron and fallout remover first? So he's asking which process do you need to do first? Do you need to strip the wax off first, or do you need to use iron and fallout remover first? That's a great question. I would say the first thing you need to do is get the dirt off the car, so wash the car. If you're doing a regimen where you're planning on doing paint correction at the end of it, I would recommend washing with foaming surface prep. That's going to get the dirt off and get any old,
Wax.
worn down wax or sealant off.
Absolutely.
And then go into your iron and fallout after that.
Yes.
So, yeah, you don't necessarily, like, if your sole goal is to use iron and fallout remover, you don't necessarily need to strip the surface first. Any wax or protection should not impede iron and fallout remover from pulling contaminant and ferrous metal particles out of the paint. However, if you're planning to do paint correction, it's never a bad idea to get all that old protection off so that you don't run into issues when you're applying new protection.
Correct, but I agree 100%. Foaming surface prep kills two birds with one stone. It'll remove that above surface dirt and strip waxes, as well as remove some organic contamination, and then come in with the iron and fallout and help dissolve all of those iron contaminants in your paint.
Go ahead and turn off our interrupting pressure washer.
Knock, knock.
All right. Scott Dayhoff asks, wife works next to rail yard at a warehouse. We've got a rail yard quite close to us as well. Paint feels like sand. Wash, clay, polish, wax. 2 weeks later, feels like sand. Use fallout remover, didn't turn purple. Diesel truck exhaust, maybe. Definitely could be soot from diesel exhaust, for sure. If there's lots of semis and whatnot driving by, that could be part of it. I would definitely, that's tough if it's coming back that quick. Getting some good self-cleaning protection down may help. Get the surface clean, decontaminated, stripped, and apply a nice coat of ceramic 3-in-1.
Or 2.
Yeah, or 2. Apply it, wait 24 hours, and apply a second coat. That'll give you even better protection and better self-cleaning ability. That will hopefully help repel some of whatever is causing that really rough surface. Make sure they're not doing any spraying of anything out there. I know, sometimes railroads, they hit, the edges of the railroad with pesticides and herbicides and things to keep weeds from growing over, or if they're applying coatings to rail equipment and stuff like that. We've definitely had customers that didn't realize it. They didn't know what the heck it was, but come to find out, a building next to their office was painted and it was some sort of overspray.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that comes to mind that could be contributing to that problem, but
Yes.
it's definitely not a fun one to deal with. Andy Buchanan, the new Speed Wash ceramic, is that okay to use every day, just like the old Speed Wash, or should we switch between the two? I love when you guys make up product names. It's quite funny. I'm thinking you're probably referring to Speed Shine, but we also have ceramic washing coats. So that one's a little bit confusing.
Technically,
Speed
they're
Wash,
both speedy.
apparently he's looking for a hybrid. But I think you're talking about ceramic Speed Shine. And yes, this one is okay to use frequently. I would say daily is going to be a little much. You can, over apply protection to the point where it becomes filmy because you're not allowing enough time between applications. We've seen that at car shows and things like that, where cars are being wiped down with a detailer 3 or 4 times a day to keep dust off of them. So I'd probably stretch it out a little bit more than daily. But that being said, if you're not noticing any film issues, go ahead and have at it daily for sure.
Yeah.
It's an easy product to use. It's very quick. The only other thing with doing it daily is if you're doing it that frequently, you want to be very careful as to how you're doing it. Make sure you're using processes that aren't leaving swirls and scratches in the paint, because the more you're agitating the paint, and abrading the paint, even if it's with a really nice microfiber, the more risk you're exposing yourself to when it comes to scratches or swirl marks. So.
Absolutely. So there is a question, a YouTube question from Joey Kyler. Does this cause streaking on glass? Can it be used on glass to create a hydrophobic layer? In reference to the wash and coat, I'm assuming it can be used on glass. We actually did use it on the glass here, and this glass actually already has been coated with glass sealant. It will not cause any issues with glass sealant. It will put hydrophobic protection on bare glass. However, keep in mind that it's not designed to withstand wiper abrasion, so it may not be as durable as you'd like. I personally would definitely use glass sealant as opposed to a ceramic protectant on the glass, just because it is designed to withstand that wiper abrasion. But if it's just a quick wash that you're doing and you do want some hydrophobicity on the glass, it's absolutely fine to use on the glass.
Yeah, perfect way to get some nice protection down without having to do a lot of work. I see in the comments on Facebook there, Andy, no need to say sorry. Happens all the time. We've got tons of products, so I completely understand how the names can cross and get a little bit confusing there. So just had to give you a hard time.
Yeah, we're just teasing you. Well, shoot, now that you made him apologize, you may as well give him something, right?
I mean, it was a good question for sure. We haven't had that one before, and it applies to really any protective product. So let's throw Andy some, well, not throw you. We'll send it to you. We won't throw it at you, but
Catch.
some ceramic washing coat. So,
Peter Torres is over here cracking me up a little bit.
Email us at social@Griot's Garage, Andy, with your mailing address, and we'll get that sent out to you as soon as possible.
Yes.
Peter Torres on Facebook has a dad joke that's detailing related, so I figure it's a pretty good one here.
Okay.
Why didn't the priest want to get his car detailed?
Why?
Because the devil's in the details.
It's a good one. I like that. Original.
I liked the Facebook one as well from Tyrell Ledbetter. What does the groundhog see in France? His chateau.
That's a good one. That's relevant. Groundhog Day was what, Tuesday? So I think he did see his shadow too.
Yeah.
Dang,
Darn groundhog.
More winter. Nothing new around here. We're covered in clouds outside as we speak. But
Yeah.
keep the jokes coming, guys. We love them. They're all funny.
Let's see. There's a good question from Joel Parker. Is it sometimes necessary to agitate with foaming surface prep, or is it strictly meant to be used as a spray-on, soak, spray-off product? It can be used either way. In fact, on an extremely dirty surface, we actually recommend spraying it on, letting it dwell, rinsing it off first, not doing a touch wash, and then assessing the surface. And if you need to come back in and agitate, definitely do so. But it's not necessarily that there's one or the other that's right or wrong. You can use it either way. It just depends on what you're working with on the surface.
Yeah, for sure. I like to, foaming surface prep is one of my favorite products, so I'll give you a little blurb about how I like to use that one with agitation. I'll normally, like if I'm doing a really, really dirty car or I want to strip something off down to bare paint, I'll foam it on, let it dwell and do its thing up to 10 minutes, don't let it dry. Pressure rinse it off very thoroughly and be very methodical about your rinse. Ideally, you're using a pressure washer to get as much of the abrasive and gritty contaminant off the car. Then come back, foam it back on, fill a bucket full of clean water, dunk your mint in the bucket, and start washing from the top down over that foam, extra lubrication on the surface. You've already removed all that abrasive grit, so very little, if any, risk that you're going to do any scratching. But then you're agitating the foaming surface prep to further strip off potential road films or old protection, and then do your final rinse, and that'll give you a perfectly clean slate with foaming surface prep. So,
kind of speaking on that, because you talked about having it in two application methods at the same time. Allison Scholl asked, when using the wash and coat with a foam cannon, is it a waste to also have it in the bucket for your agitating mitt? And I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I would say no, it's not a waste.
No.
It definitely could improve even the hydrophobicity that you're imparting onto the surface.
Yeah, for sure. As long as you're not over diluting it in either of those methods, or under diluting, I guess, you're good to go.
Either or.
So, yeah.
Don't under dilute it and don't over dilute it.
Yeah, not either. But yeah, I mean, I essentially did that. I don't know if you guys saw it when I was doing the foaming sprayer, and we had the foam applied with the sprayer, and then I dunked, after rinsing my mitt off in the clean water bucket, I dunked it in the wash and coat bucket, went back to the surface with it. So
yeah. More lubricity
totally
is
cool
never
to
a
do it
bad
that
thing.
way, for sure. Oh
What?
man, more dad jokes coming in.
Oh, breaking news. A man addicted to brake fluid says he can stop anytime. That one?
What?
Not that one? What were you laughing at?
Oh, there was Andy Buchanan said it, another one. What did the horse say when he fell? Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
We've got another one from YouTube. Edward Delgado said he's got a dad joke. When I was a kid, my mother told me I could be anyone I wanted. Turns out identity theft is a crime.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. Has he won anything lately? I don't want to double up on too many of these guys. Well, let's give Edward something. That's a good one. And we've got, let's see, we're going on hour 10, so probably give you guys another 10 or 15 minutes of Q&A if you can keep them coming in.
Yeah, fire 'em off.
Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and take advantage of that discount code. What is it again?
SMJAMR.
All right, SMJAMR. There it is on the screen.
Yes.
Valid through Saturday the 6th. So if you...
And I apologize for misspeaking earlier.
Yes.
It is on orders over. Oh, just kidding.
Over's over 25. So yeah, spend
Yes.
$25, get a free 22-ounce bottle of interior cleaner at $9.99 value. So free shipping over orders $59 and up as well. So
Yes.
if you get over $59, you get your free shipping and your free interior cleaner. Great time if you're out of interior cleaner. Solid excuse to place an order.
Mike Leckie is wondering what are the dilution ratios of washing coat. So maybe just go over those again for the
Yeah,
three different
definitely. We
methods.
covered that right at the beginning, so that's a great question to touch on again. Dilution ratios of wash and coat. In the bucket, you're going to do 2 ounces per gallon of water, so that's 64-1 in your bucket. Keep in mind you don't always need 5 or 6 gallons of water, depending on how dirty the car is. Foaming sprayer
6
is
ounces.
6 ounces.
Yep. Fill the rest of the canister with water. And then the foam cannon would be 4 ounces and fill the rest with water.
Yeah, the reason some of you guys might wonder like why a different dilution ratio between the sprayer and the cannon. With the sprayer, you're using just a garden hose, so it's pumping a higher volume of water through the solution and diluting it more, so you need more concentrate in there. Whereas the pressure washer, our pressure washer is a 1.2 GPM unit, so it's not putting quite as much water mixture in, which isn't going to dilute what's already in the reservoir quite as much, so that's why you have a little less in that one. All right. What else we got here?
We've got a question from YouTube. Someone's wondering what they can use to remove ceramic 3-in-1 from their trim to use the new ceramic trim wipes.
That's a great question.
Foaming surface
Yeah,
prep.
he should win some wash and coat too. We haven't heard that one yet, and that is a phenomenal question. What were you going to say, Stevie?
Foaming surface prep.
Yeah, that would be my exact answer as well. You may have to hit it a couple times because ceramic 3-in-1 is so durable. I would probably go over it 2 to 3 times, mix up some 10-to-1 foaming surface prep. We do have a secondary bottle. It's just a 35-ounce spray bottle if you don't want to buy a foamer. Mix up 10-to-1 in there, spray it on, allow it to dwell for up to 10 minutes, but don't allow it to dry. Agitate it, rinse it off, and then repeat until you're not seeing hydrophobic reaction on those trim pieces.
All right, sorry, real quick, Sam, this one's for you. This is from Matthew Dvorsky. He said, this one is for Sam. Did you hear what Sir Mix-a-Lot named his car? Anna Honda.
Oh.
My Anna Honda don't.
That's pretty good. You guys would, some of you might know, but Sir Mix-a-Lot's actually a customer of ours. Pretty cool story. I met him when I worked in the retail store like 7 years ago at a car show. He used to come to a couple of our exotic events with his Lamborghinis. Really cool guy too. Super personable, regular dude. Yeah, totally awesome guy. But I've always thought it was pretty cool that he's a customer of ours. Awesome joke too. That one might be deserving of a giveaway. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. Email us, Matthew.
All right, Matthew Dvorsky. I think he's won something before, but
he won one of our posters. I don't remember which one.
I like that joke though. That was a good one. So we'll get him some wash and coat as well. Maybe
Email
we'll
us.
throw in some other stuff. Make it sweeten the pot for you guys a little bit. We'll see.
Starting with the Ferrari behind me.
People are coming heavy with the dad jokes. We've got one from Jonathan Garza. He said, what's a chiropractor's favorite type of music? Hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. Chiropractor is a sore subject for me lately.
Yeah.
Turned 30
Literally
and all of a sudden I'm
sore
like
subject.
tweaking my shoulder, drying myself out of the shower. Like, what's going on?
Just sleep wrong at this point.
Too many visits to the chiropractor lately. Do your stretches, guys.
This question's from a little while ago, but Patrick Goals is wondering, should you use wash and coat if your car is completely covered in salt and snow?
I would say not that you shouldn't use it, but I would definitely recommend starting with another
For sure.
wash. So foaming surface wash, or even like Brilliant Finish car wash, or just something else first that has a little more lubrication, just to ensure that you're safely removing that, and then using the wash and coat as a maintenance product and adding the protection on.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good time. We haven't really touched on it yet, but ceramic wash and coat, I would say its only weakness is a heavily soiled surface. You do not want to use this on a car that like hasn't been washed for a month plus, or has sand, salt, who knows whatever else on it. Like Stevie said, you can use it to protect or as like your primary wash, but you're going to want to do a pre-wash to get off the majority of that heavy grit and contaminant.
And Patrick, we have a video on our YouTube that covers that exact process for winter
Yeah.
washing.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
like the second recent video. So
Great point.
I would check
yeah,
that out.
We haven't mentioned that yet either, but our how-to with Nick's 200 Series Land Cruiser on YouTube goes over kind of how to incorporate ceramic wash and coat into the foaming system if you're working with a heavily soiled surface. That car had just come down from being up in the snow, went through the pass, was up there I think for a couple days, so it was quite dirty when we did that wash. So that's definitely a good video for you to check out.
Absolutely.
Cool, yeah, we'll post the link in the description after the video, so if you don't want to go searching for it, you can find it there.
Bryce Miller on YouTube has a great question. He said, I wash my car every week or two and it gets moderately dirty. Do I need to use the ceramic wash and coat every wash, or should I alternate between it and a regular wash and still see good protection? My car has ceramic 3-in-1 on it.
Being you have ceramic 3-in-1 on already, I would say it wouldn't hurt if you're washing every 2 weeks to use ceramic wash and coat every time. However, if you did alternate between ceramic wash and coat and just a standard wash, that would be fine as well, because the ceramic wash and coat is enhancing the protection that's already on the surface. Sorry, you look like you're gonna say something.
Oh, no. I was getting lost in the comments. Let's see, Paige Norris. Why does it feel like the giveaways are geared towards people in the chat that you already know? Oh, come
Hey
on.
now.
Paige was getting pretty excited about the new ceramic products earlier, so maybe we should give her something.
Yeah, I haven't seen Paige in here before, and I promise this is not rigged. We do not know these people. Some of them are return customers that know our hot buttons, so to speak, with what gives us
Gets our attention.
gets us enticed to
Yeah.
give stuff away. But Paige, yeah, we'll send you some wash and coat for sure. Haven't seen you in here. If it's your first time, please subscribe and do come back for our next live.
Keep
Love
firing away
seeing-
the questions.
Love seeing new customers in here. But yeah, just ask questions. We like unique questions, ones we haven't heard of a ton. And then, of course, jokes.
Yeah, we tend to get
Oh,
sidetracked a
no
little
soft
bit
spot
on
for
the
jokes.
dad jokes, but
Yeah, Paige, email us, social at Griot's Garage, and we will get your giveaway sent out to you.
yes.
Just to prove that we're not rigging the giveaways. That's no fun. Come on. I don't want to do that. Oh man, we're getting down to it. I think probably got time for a couple questions left. Let's see what we got. You guys putting one up on screen? I'm coming. All right, no.
Michael had asked earlier, he said, what product should I use on the undercarriage? That way the bottom is better protected from daily debris.
That is an awesome question as well. I love hitting the undercarriage of my trucks with really whatever protection product I'm using. Lately, it's been wash and coat. Polygloss is another good option. You can also use ceramic speed shine and ceramic 3-in-1 wax as rinse aids on those surfaces. So get those surfaces as clean as you can, spray them on, rinse them off, and that'll add some added protection there as well. So again, polygloss is a good option, ceramic wash and coat, or either your ceramic speed shine or ceramic 3-in-1 wax as rinse aids. And a rinse aid is just after you've rinsed the soap and nasty stuff off, you spray one of these on still wet, allow it to dwell for, say, like 10 to 30 seconds, and then rinse it back off. So that's a great way to do it as well. Let's see, how many giveaways are we at? Should we give away any more? We're at 4?
Yeah, we should give away more. Come on.
More?
Channel your inner Richard and give some stuff away.
See, nice, Andy. It's his first time too. So he already won. We're not going to give you anything else, Andy, but you have been very active, which we appreciate. It's awesome to see you guys in here for the first time.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Keith Firebird's coming in with a few jokes. He said an electric car hit a cyclist the other day. He got arrested for assault with a battery.
Nice. I think I've heard that one before, but that's a pretty funny one. Oh, we got any other good, relevant topic questions coming in? Want to make sure we get to those. Ooh, ceramic 3-in-1 wax works well on exhaust tips as far as keeping them cleaner longer. Definitely, yeah. It's not going to hurt at all putting it on exhaust tips. I would say you're going to have to reapply it more frequently than you would to your paint surface just because of the heat cycles. Heat is often hard on protective products, so say you're probably going to want to put it on, once a month or every other month because that's heat cycling every time you drive the car. So
Absolutely.
It's going to wear it off a little bit quicker. But
And similar case with wheels.
Yep.
Typically, your brakes are going to end up creating heat and wearing down the wax a bit quicker.
that's another good topic that we haven't talked about either, is the fact that all of these products are awesome for getting really easy protection onto wheels, especially if you have intricate wheels that are a pain to come in and polish or hand apply a wax or a protection product to. These are awesome ways to get your wheels nice and protected. You're already using them on the paint, so spray them on the wheels and go through the same process, and you'll be pretty impressed. I know on our GX470, we've got some aftermarket Stealth Custom Series wheels on there, and they're like a matte satiny finish. They tend to pick up brake dust pretty bad and hold on to it. And all of these products have really helped with the self-cleaning, keeping those wheels cleaner longer so the brake dust isn't sticking quite as badly or building up as much too. So great way to add value to your wash process without
Absolutely.
really any extra time. Let's see what else we got. Oh, that's awesome. So Arai Toshiyuki said he loves griots. He used to live in Seattle, still uses our stuff now that he lives in Japan. That is awesome to hear. Share it with your friends. We're definitely trying to get out there eventually as far as distributorship goes. I think we do have a small distributor, Lay Garage, that is in Japan as well. So check them out if you haven't already.
Yes.
Love hearing products being used internationally, though. That's awesome. We don't have a big international presence yet, but definitely watch out. Come.
And Floyd from Facebook is wondering if ceramic washing coat can be used on wheels.
Yeah, 100%. All of these products are phenomenal for use on wheels, like we just said. And ceramic washing coat is probably one of the easier ones to use on your wheels, especially if you're delivering it out of a foaming sprayer or a foam cannon, foam it on the wheels. I always like to clean my wheels prior. Normally that's best practice so that you're not, getting the paint dirty after you've already cleaned the car and clean your wheels at the end. And it's one of the, wheel cleaning isn't the funnest job. It's not my favorite job, I know. So getting it out of the way up front's nice. Get the wheels clean, and then as you're using wash and coat on the rest of the car, spray it on the wheels. You can do agitate, since they're already clean. Probably use a separate mitt or towel just in case there's some brake dust left there, or just spray it on and rinse it off. That'll give you solid protection too.
Yes.
Wes Bailey asked ceramic headlight versus ceramic washing coat. So maybe a good chance to touch on the difference between protection of those two.
Yeah, that's a good one. Haven't talked about that at all yet. The ceramic headlight kits and the ceramic trim kits, those use a high solid, high content ceramic coating. So those are going to be much more durable than what you're going to get out of any of these three bottles, specifically the wash and coat. So for protecting headlights, definitely, the ceramic headlight kits are restoration kits. They're intended to restore a degraded headlight and protect it from further degradation. So
And they last a lifetime, the lifetime of the light.
Much longer durability. But that's not saying you can't use this on your headlights after you've done the restoration with the ceramic headlight kits. Use this to maintain that surface and keep it protected as well. All right, guys. Yeah, it's almost 5:30. I know my tummy's starting to growl. It's almost dinner time for me, so probably gonna wrap it up here. We'll answer. Let's see. Let's get to 2 more questions before we cut the cameras off. We got another one about polygloss. So what's the difference between polywash and ceramic wash and coat? Polygloss and ceramic wash and coat. Is it the same technology, or are they totally different types of products? I like the second part of that question. You're getting kind of into the chemistry. They are different chemistries. So they do share some similar ingredients to contribute to foaming and clinging and lubricity. However, the protection packages are going to be different. The polygloss is a polymer protection package. The wash and coat is polymer and SiO2 protection or ceramic protection. So slightly different. You will notice that polygloss tends to foam more. That one can actually be used as kind of a wash type process. Say you do a pre-wash with foaming surface wash or foaming surface prep, and you need to agitate the surface, but you want to save a little time. You can do your pre-wash with foaming surface prep or foaming surface wash, rinse those, get all the abrasive grit off, foam polygloss on. That one's lubricated enough, you can just go right over it, and that'll give you're going to have a little better foam there. Or you could essentially use wash and coat in the same situation, but it's going to have less foam, a little more hydrophobic protection.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that wasn't confusing. All right. And last question. That one's not completely appropriate, so we're not gonna. I was gonna finish with a joke, but let's see. How long should the iron and file remover sit before it's removed? Is longer better? Yes, in a way. So longer is better to an extent. I believe the recommended dwell time for that is about 5 minutes. Again, you don't want to let it dry. So let it dwell up to 5 minutes. Don't let it dry. But yeah, letting it dwell for 5, you're going to get more reaction with the ferrous metal on the surface than you would letting it dwell for 1 minute. So you will definitely get a better result if you let that dwell longer. Just do not let it dry. That one's pretty sticky if it dries because of the thickness, and it'll just be harder to rinse and get off the paint.
Yeah, so you can either continue to reapply the product. If you're seeing a lot of color reaction and change, it may be a good idea to allow it to continue to dwell and just spray more product so that the product doesn't dry out, or you can agitate, rinse, and reapply as needed.
All right, well, this was an awesome live event.
Yes.
Make sure if you aren't subscribed, get down there and subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our content. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you're not there as well. We're doing a lot of really cool content on both of those platforms, especially a lot of new educational content. So definitely do not miss out on that. It's a great way to get tips and tricks and some extra education that you may not get on the website or the product directions. So be sure you follow us, like, subscribe, engage with us in any way you can. We loved all the comments and questions today. You guys had awesome engagement. So thank you again for watching. And don't forget, we've got another one coming at you in
Next
a month
month
from now.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys soon. Have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage.